Welcome to another episode of Prime and Load. My name is Lee Gugino, and we are joined with our friends Dr. Alex Burns and Andrew Bamford. And today is another addition to our Top Commanders bracket series. In the last episode, we're introduced to our 32 commanders who are going to fight it out for the top commander spot. And we've gotten our votes, and now we're going to go through them. Now, just as a reminder, Alex and Andrew have not seen these results yet. They don't know who's won in each of our matchups. So these are going to be the live reactions.
This is a live results show.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. All the tears and laughs will be genuine. We'll find out where those actually end up. So our first matchup is Jeffrey Amherst and Pontiac.
Grudge match.
So
grudge match.
It is a grudge match.
Historical opponents.
So historical opponents. So this is going to be a real interesting one. If we look at our results, we have it's 64% for Jeffrey Amherst and 36% for Pontiac.
Well, I guess I'll start off by an apology to Indigenous peoples all across the globe, but I can't say that I'm shocked by this outcome. I mean, Jeffrey Amherst kind of did defeat Pontiac historically, so maybe it's an outcome that reflects that.
And the whole Conquest of Canada thing as well. I mean, not to be
entirely
all
Canada belongs to the king. I mean, what a mensch.
That little thing. Yeah, that little thing. Do you guys kind of want to give us a quick reminder? Pontiac?
Yeah, Pontiac, obviously, important Ottawa war chief, and I mean, in American history, he's remembered because of the rebellion that bears his name, Pontiac's War, Pontiac Rebellion that happened in 1763. It was a wide-scale uprising of Native peoples all across what we would today think of as like the lower Midwest, so like Ohio and New York, like around Buffalo and Michigan, particularly Detroit. It culminates in a couple of battles, but particularly the Battle of Bushy Run on August 5th and 6th. 1763, where the British do actually break through the blockade and reach and reinforce Pittsburgh, kind of ending the native siege of that outpost. So that's a brief summary on why Pontiac is on this list. Andrew, you want to say a few words about Jeff?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I say, Conquest of Canada, which is his own conquest of the fortress of Louisbourg, and then coordinating the combined advances that take Quebec and then Montreal, and then very much a home-based staff role coordinating the British Army in its later wars. So in that sense, a good all-rounder, but obviously somewhat marred by the smallpox-infected blankets with the deployed as a early biological warfare against the native people. So yeah, clearly been a ruthless piece of work has paid off on this occasion as far as the bracket is concerned.
Yeah. I think Alex, you mentioned he might win here, but he's certainly not going to get the most ethical command.
That's right. Award. That's right. He's probably not going to be in charge of anyone's homeowner association anytime soon. So yeah.
All right, so we're moving on to our next matchup is Peter Lacy versus Hyder Ali. All right, and we've got another fairly similar matchup. 61% of the vote went to Hyder Ali and 38% went to Peter Lacy.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's fascinating. I don't hate it. I don't hate. I mean, as someone who loves Peter Lacy's son, this is hard for me. But Hyder Ali certainly, I think, a deserving candidate, and kind of I would maybe up there for kind of comes up from nothing and leads an important state in South Asia, right? So certainly not born with a silver spoon in his mouth in the European aristocracy like Peter Lacy was. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
I do wonder how much of his name recognition. King of Mysore, certainly in a British English speaking world, is a lot more recognition than somebody who led Russians against Ottomans. So possibly some name bias there.
Swedes.
I'm sorry, and the Swedes.
Yeah,
I think
and the Swedes too.
You said I've just demonstrated my own point, haven't I? I don't know enough about
Yeah. So
Hyder Ali, what a guy.
This is shocking to me because I guarantee you very few American listeners have heard of Hyder Ali. And that's not a knock on Americans. I'm not saying Americans are uneducated. I'm just saying maybe they skipped this portion of world history in sixth grade or something like this. So yeah, I think for an American audience, kind of the opposite is true, but they've probably not heard of Peter Lacy either, because again, he's kind of an obscure guy who fought a war in the late 1730s and early 1740s, and by the time Frederick the Great and these other famous personalities on the scene, like I said, he's gone. His son is around. So R.I.P. Peter. We'll miss you.
Yeah,
you're a legend for that one, fam.
All right, our next matchup is Nadir Shah and Eugene of Savoy.
This is tough for me. Okay,
this will be an interesting one.
Yeah.
So it's a much bigger,
very tough bracket. I think the next one as well is, as I recall.
The next one will be interesting, but Nadir Shah and Eugene of Savoy. So on this one, the margin is a bit bigger. We have 78% for Eugene and 23% for Nadir Shah. I'm sorry, 77% versus 23%.
So clearly Eugene has pulled it out here. Eugene
has pulled it out. Yes.
Well,
yes.
that is real tough for Nadir. He another one of these come up from nothing cases who's now been consigned back to nothing through the whims of a uncaring populace voting in this bracket.
Yes.
As someone who enjoys Prince Eugene, I can't say that I'm shocked. Andrew.
I mean, again, I don't know. We've had three non-European descent candidates, I think, and we've seen two out of three of them go. I do wonder if that is a demographic thing or an English language thing. I think people who've heard of Nadir Shah in his career will be the ones who voted for him, and it may well be a case with some. And I'm not knocking our viewers. There may be some people. I would have struggled with this one if I'm honest. I might have been tempted to go to Eugene, so I'm not knocking people who did, but I do wonder again whether it's a name people know and a name that people maybe were introduced to for the first time when we introduced the brackets. So yeah, not incredibly surprised, but as I say, it was a tough lineup. I think this one and whoever wins the next one is going to be a very tough fight in the next round. So there's going to be some big names going early, whichever way this one fell out.
Yeah, I mean, with apologies to Josh Provan, I think probably an Anglophone audience has heard of Prince Eugene of Savoy, maybe not heard of Nadir Shah. That could explain some of it. We'll also say, just kind of pulling for my man Eugene here. Dies as a ripe old age. Nadir Shah sort of murdered on campaign while he's trying to hold his empire together. So maybe the more successful guy won. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right. Our next one. This is a highly anticipated one. We have George Washington versus Leopold von Daun.
Oh, okay. Well, as I think I said when we matched them up the first time, I mean, they have the same nickname, right? I mean, Washington called famously the American Fabius, Daun called the German Fabius. So maybe they have a similar strategy, but I hesitate to predict, Lee, who's won this one.
Is this when we found out which side of the Atlantic we have more listeners?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Statistics on the software be damned. So this one's close. We've got 53% versus 46%.
I am shocked. Wow.
Yep. And the winner is Von Daun.
Get out.
Yeah.
It is Ryan Diamond creating 37 Gmail accounts voting. Oh my gosh, that's insane. You're saying George Washington has lost?
George Washington. Yep.
Okay.
In the first round, George is gone.
Wow.
That's a major upset.
That's
wow.
I can't say I would have expected that. But,
you know what?
you know?
Here's what can I just say some things? A few things. First of all, the Habsburg monarchy doesn't have a flag on the moon. Okay. Second of all, George
Washington
was never defeated by Frederick the Great. Okay, so we'll just throw that out there.
That's true.
Nor did George Washington defeat Frederick the Great. We have to say
that is true. Yeah, I mean, as an American, I'm incredibly offended. As an 18th century military historian, I won't deny being a little bit surprised and maybe even pleasantly surprised that people are not just saying, "Oh, I love George Washington, I'm going to go vote for him." They're trying to be objective. Even if maybe they're being objective in a way that I would disagree with. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
You did say, Alex, that you wanted Van Down to do well. I mean, clearly the listenership is taking note of what you say.
Man, I'm
choose your words carefully when touting the.
So what you're saying is I'm killing off the father of the nation, Andrew.
You may have inadvertently done exactly that.
All right. Well, this is delightful. I'm glad we had
he said with a smile on his face. Yeah, I think this goes to show that our the name recognition argument may have less sway amongst our listeners.
So listenership
Possibly.
skews British is clearly what I'm hearing at this juncture. Anyway, continue, Lee. What's next?
Okay, our next one is Louis Hector de Villiers and Charles XII.
Oh, okay.
And this is another close one.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Closer than Dawn in Washington.
Pretty darn the same thing.
Okay.
53% versus 46%.
Ooh.
And the winner is Charles XII.
Yeah. Take that. Okay. Well, a guy who's been dead for 300 years. Okay, so this is fascinating. What are we? How are we going to interpret this, Andrew? Is it just name recognition? I mean, what is?
No, I think we've thrown that out the window with the last one, haven't we? No, I say I take that back.
Yeah, I think our listeners are decently informed individuals. They're at least listening to the podcast.
Why they picked a guy who got himself shot in the head then, if they're so decently informed? It doesn't matter if you fail and you completely run your empire to the ground. What matters is you look cool doing it.
That is the second rule. If the first ones don't die,
okay.
The second rule is look
out of
good.
our 5. That's number 2. Yeah. How cool do you look as you lose? All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, Andrew, you were a big fan of having Villar on the.
It was one of my tasks. I mean, it was a tough one. I think if you take Poltava out of the question, which is a pretty big if, then building an army, developing a war fighting doctrine, running a country, all right, into the ground, and potentially even getting shot by your own people as a result. But I can't say either of them going to the final. But it's interesting. It's gone the way it did.
Yeah. Maybe listeners award extra points for potentially being fragged by your own troops. I mean, that is
sympathy vote. Could be
sympathy vote. Yeah, sympathy vote. I like that. If I could detour us for a second here. Every time I teach the Revolutionary War, I assign Washington had busts, like little statues of both Charles XII and Frederick on his mantelpiece at Mount Vernon. And so I have my students write an essay, which commander do you think is better? Now, obviously, Frederick the Great survives and continues to sort of grow Prussia while Charles, runs his kingdom into the ground and gets himself killed. And so many students pick Charles just because they're like, oh, he's a young guy. He's very romantic. There's this mystique that I think is attached to dying young and getting yourself killed in a poorly executed siege in Norway that just, it endures. And that's good.
It came up in some of the social media chat as well. I mean, because obviously this applies to Wolfe, Montcalm, Berwick, quite a few who died in action on the list, and I think it was the Wolfe and Montcalm thing that brought it up particularly. But how do you make a fair judgment of somebody who died before their time and didn't show everything that they'd got? Could Charles have pulled it round? Probably not. But it's always it's the big what if, isn't it? There are still people who are saying Pickett would have made it up the ridge if only he'd done this, or the Guard would have won at Waterloo if only that. So there must be some. He was on the ropes, but he'd have come back fighting. As you say, it's the romantic side of things. We'll never know.
Or live long enough to not even make the list of 32. Who knows? Live long enough to become the enemy, right?
Yeah, in the classic formulation of American Civil War historians, and I do mean professional historians here, to the question, what if Jackson had been at Gettysburg? Well, then he would have been pretty smelly.
So our next one is Francois de Luxembourg and Horatio Gates, and the results are not close, unlike our last two. Do we have any predictions?
Man. Maybe the listenership is French. I'll go Luxembourg.
I think Gates would be a travesty. He's famous for winning one battle that was won for him by his subordinates. So,
ooh, Andrew.
Alex, you'd be right. De Luxembourg is the winner with 82% of the vote.
Clearly, okay. So now I'm convinced there is an anti-American conspiracy amongst the listenership. That's interesting.
All right, so we'll place that into our bracket, and then our next one is Nathaniel Greene and Frederick. And I think everyone saw this coming. Frederick, 87% of the vote, and Greene gets 12%.
Wow. Well, I know one individual who's going to be very heartbroken by this, but I think it's probably the right outcome.
Yeah, it's tough. He's a much loved character, put in a tough spot in round one.
I think up against a different opponent, he would have deserved to have gone to the next round. But yeah, that's a hard one to beat.
Yeah, once you hear Dr. Bamford say, he's famous for almost winning some battles. It's just over at that
but help him win a war. I mean, you keep going on about this. I made the point. I rate Greene. Absolutely.
He's a good guy.
I'll take the Mickey out of him because he was fighting on the other side. But
I do think he's probably Washington's most gifted subordinate. So we're 0 for 3 Americans now.
Yes.
And that's all the Americans. So goodbye.
It is
America.
Yes.
Nice having you in the bracket, and better luck next time when we do this again with a more American listenership, apparently. So,
yeah. All right. Our next one is Charles Edward Stuart and Peter the Great.
Okay, I have a lot of strong thoughts about this, but I'll hear the results first.
All right.
I do wonder if the romantic side of the listenership may have been swayed on this one. I saw a few comments that suggested that toasts were being drunk over finger bowls and up the Stuarts.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 79% for Peter the Great and 20% for Charles Edward Stuart.
Yes. All of our listeners are just Ryan Diamond in a different suit. That is amazing. They're well informed. They're not led astray by nationalism. They hate the Jacobites. It's a wonderful, wonderful listenership that we have here. Incredible. Well, so this is sad. And if you're a Jacobite fan, then you're used to things being quite sad, and
it's true.
I guess the Russians. Is there a world in which it could be Peter the Great and Charles the 12th, like down the bracket? Is that? I mean, not until the final, maybe. Like,
well, yeah, it could be.
Okay.
I think there's. So, we'll go over the bracket at the end, but there's a possibility. Yes.
All right. Well, Andrew, you're the Jacobite, dyed in the wool. You shoot muskets at redcoats. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, yeah, I generally shoot muskets at redcoats dressed as a Frenchman. So the fact that I'm allied to the Jacobites in some of them is neither here nor there. No, I think it's a fair result, possibly on style and charisma and contributions to the Scottish shortbread industry. It should have been Charles, but. I think it's a fair result. Obviously, we're clearly all in favour of Russian nationalism and expansionism. Which,
oh my,
yeah, where did that one end up, Peter? There you go.
All right.
So there is a consolation prize next week. We do have the part 1 of our Jacobite series coming out.
Incredible.
So we do get to learn more about Charles Edward next week. So
and at this point, it's going to be a miracle if we get Aaron to come back. So hopefully the listeners can apologize for this outcome.
Yeah. Unfortunately can't undo what's already been done. But
it's true.
Okay, so our next matchup is William III versus Maximilian von Braun,
Oh,
and this one's closer.
good. Okay,
We've got
all right. It should be.
43% for William and 56% for Maximilian.
Get out! Get out of town! You do the Glorious Revolution, you can't even beat out some Irish Jacobite who goes to Austria? This is amazing! I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go the other way when you started reading the figures there. No, I mean, bringing together the coalition that checks Louis XIV is fairly impressive achievement, I would have thought, But,
Yeah.
Man, but hard to keep a good man down, and obviously we have some people who read Christopher Duffy's books in the listenership, and they, he was a great fan of Von Braun.
we've got the Jacobite listenership back anyway. We're not.
We do. Jacobite's still in contention here.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
Perfect. All right. Our next matchup is Leopold I versus Alex's favorite Prussian, Prince Henry.
Oh, okay. Oh, and so, but wait, when you say Leopold I assume you mean the Alto de Sauer, right? Van Anhalt Dessau?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
correct.
Okay, good. So, I'm going to say Prince Henry's won. That's my prediction.
Okay. What do you think, Andrew?
Oh, just to be awkward, I'll go the other way because I did suggest that we put the old Dessauer on the list, and I seem to recall Alex at that point saying, "Well, somebody's got to come last." So
that's right.
There we go. But
yeah.
I'll stick by my suggestion.
Well, Alex, you're right. Prince Henry wins with 61% of the vote.
Take that, Andrew. No, that's fast. It's 61%, eh?
61% of the vote. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it doesn't matter how many fake inventions 19th century historians lay to your credit that you invented marching and invented the iron ramrod and all these things. What really matters is how well you did on the battlefield. And speaking frankly, the Alto de Sauer did great there too. So I'm a little heartbroken, but I'm not shocked. Heartbroken, but not shocked. Maybe is where I'm at.
We'll hopefully do an episode on Kesselsdorf anyway for the anniversary and give it a moment in the sun.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Are we going to do like pity episodes for all the people who
were
bloodied and bruised along the way?
He doesn't need your pity. Pietism keeps him warm.
Yeah, there you go. But who might need pity is the loser of our next one.
Oh man, okay, which is
this is another big a big disparity. We've got John Churchill, Duke of Marlborough versus Galvez.
No,
it's yes.
People on the internet are going to be absolutely incensed by this.
Yes, and I feel like we all know who the winner is. Yeah, we do. And Marlborough is the winner with 87% of the vote.
It's deserved.
So
it's deserved.
There were some people championing the Spanish cause out there on X.
And honestly, tough matchup. I mean, Galvez deserves probably advance further than this, but when you're up against someone like Marlborough, what can you do?
Yeah. When you get the champions together, it's tough. Okay. All right, our next one's a little bit closer. We have the Duke of Berwick versus Charles Cornwallis.
Oh.
And so, like I said, this one's a little bit closer. Another 56 versus 43%. Do we have any guesses on who's coming out on top?
I'm going to say that the listenership was swayed by Andrew's eloquent "Remember India" from last
yeah,
episode.
I did. This may be a little bit like your championing of Van Down because I'd probably vote the other way myself, but I did make a good case for Cornwallis, didn't I? Before I realised who it was matched up with. So
you made a fantastic case for Cornwallis, and that's why he won. So Charles Cornwallis wins with 56% of the vote.
Chuck gets into the next round. Amazing.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just place him in the bracket. Our next matchup is the Duke of Cumberland versus, I'm sorry, Alex, you're going to have to...
Oh. Well, I can't see the bracket, so you'll have to give me a hint here. Oh, Rumyantsev. Yeah, Pyotr Rumyantsev. Yeah, a Russian general. I would guess that probably Sweet William has not come out on top.
This one is not as close. This is a 69% to 30%.
Okay, so you lose 3 times against Maurice de Sax? Am I counting that right? He was only present for 2.
Twice, yeah. It was Loren
okay.
at
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Culloden. So there's that.
yeah.
Maybe if the listenership really hates the Jacobites, then maybe Cumberland will win. But
unfortunately, he does not. Rumyantsev is the winner with 69%.
By about 60%, you said.
Yeah, 69%. So a decent margin.
Well,
so that would be our Jacobites. Jacobites winning out again, right?
That's true. That's true.
All right. So our next matchup, we have the Marquis de Montcalm versus Ferdinand of Brunswick.
Okay. Well,
and this is another one that's we have same proportions, 69 to 30%.
I'm really hoping it's Brunswick, because if Brunswick lost to Montcalm, that's going to be a little sad.
You're right. It is the Ferdinand of Brunswick.
Thank you, Ryan. Yes.
Okay, so we're coming down to our last two. And this is another one. Again, this one's same sort of percentages, 71% to 29%. We've got Sir William Howe and Ernst von Loudon.
Oh, Ernst von Loudon. Yeah, sure.
And our winner is Ernst von Loudon. So
really,
William Howe is out in the first round. Yeah.
I wonder if the listenership is like from Germany or something, or Austria. It's fascinating. Okay, you said that was the last one, Lee? I feel like we get one.
We've got one more.
Oh, we got one more. Okay,
those are our last two, so we've got one more.
All right.
Yes, this is the one. This last one is the one that has we have a curse hanging over us here, don't we? We've been threatened with the curse of gout unless it goes the way that one particular listener wanted. So
that's true.
Oh,
we have been, yeah. So this is Maurice de Sax versus James Wolfe.
Okay.
And this was not close.
Yeah.
This is not close either.
So it's got to be.
It's de Sax with 82%. Yes. So
no
gout for anybody this time, thankfully.
Okay. Good.
Really glad everyone helped us out on that one. So those are all of our winners. And when we look at our bracket here for you guys, I'm going to share the screen.
Oh, great. Okay. That way we can see the new one.
And we're looking at our first set. This is, again, our doctors have not, they did not see these results beforehand. So again, the tears and jeers, all very genuine. And what we've got in our first matchup for round 2 moving forward, we have Jeffrey Amherst versus Hyder Ali. You guys have any thoughts on that matchup at all?
Don't everyone jump in at once. I think I'm probably lean Ali, but I guess we'll see.
Yes, I was just trying to think how to judge such different people against one another. It's
that's true. That's true.
Interesting quandary. No, I think I'm probably with Alex. Ali is probably the stronger one there.
This is definitely an unfamiliar adversary, unlike last time.
I mean, I give a lot of.
Let's not cast too many opinions. We don't want to sway our audience.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup.
And then we've got again, our first matchup is Jeffrey Amherst and Hyder Ali. Our second matchup, Eugene of Savoy and Leopold von Daun.
Yeah, so a Habsburg line grudge match here.
Yep.
Two gentlemen who probably would like each other very much are fighting against each other. Yeah.
And then we've got Charles XII of Sweden versus de Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm.
Frederick the Great versus Peter the Great.
Oh, the great match off. Okay. Frederick versus Peter. All right.
There can only be one the Great. We have von Braun versus Prince Henry.
Well, I like that. Yeah, that's a lot.
Then we've got the Duke of Marlborough versus Cornwallis.
Okay.
Then Rumyantsev versus Ferdinand of Brunswick.
Okay.
Then Howe and de Sax.
I thought Loudon pulled it out. I thought Howe was eliminated.
So too. Yes, I just put the.
Okay, all right.
That's my mistake.
Lee really likes Howe. He's trying to.
I was trying to sabotage the votes. I apologize. That's
No worries.
There we go. Okay. For our last matchup, we have Ernst von Loudon and Maurice de Sax. So hopefully we can keep our gutless streak going.
Yeah. Okay. So this is fascinating. I mean, just zooming in from here, I think it will be probably a DeSax Marlboro grudge match on this side of the board as we advance further, which will cause Andrew's head to explode, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And then if you scoot over there, Lee, yeah, thanks so much. Oh man,
I would guess that's going to come down to Frederick against Eugene eventually. Then the way that's set up. Unless Dan continues his giant killing streak that he's begun already.
Yeah. I mean, he's already killed George Washington, so
That's
like,
true.
I mean,
No
the
mean
guy
feat.
must have like he's really on steroids or something.
I mean, if he doesn't, it sets up the possibility of a Eugene against Marlborough final, which.
Oh, that would be something.
Wow.
That would be something. Yeah. Speaking frankly, if it's Frederick versus Charles, now that would be an interesting pairing there. Or if it's Peter versus Charles, equally interesting.
Mhm.
I mean, one would be historical, the other would be probably more interesting and comparative. But yeah, well, well done, listeners.
I think our listeners did a good job.
Except for killing all the Americans, clearly I'm
that.
demanding a recount or something. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
So this is the beginning of round 2. Voting is open now until noon on August 19th. So make sure you cast your vote. And how we like to judge these commanders, we've got 4 criteria. We've got the tactical ability, their ability to do scaled operations, their achievement of their political goals, and their charisma as a commander. So please keep those things in mind as we go forward and vote on our next round of commanders. And as a reminder, round 2 is open to anybody and everybody. Round 3 will also be over to everybody, but it's round 4. If you want to participate in round 4 and choosing our top commander, you've had to have participated in the previous rounds beforehand to be able to get the ballots for that round. So thank you very much for listening, and we hope everyone continues voting. If you know of somebody who would be interested in this, please send them the links, have them listen to the episode, and cast their votes.
That's it for this episode of Prime and Load. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter with the link in the description. It's the best way to stay up to date with the show, see what's coming up next, and ask us questions. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This episode was hosted by Drs. Alexander Burns and Andrew Bamford. It was produced by Lee Gugino. Music by Brianna Tam, Ardi Son, and Adrian Beringer. Prime and Load is a Historic Studios podcast.